Okay. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for being on the call. Today is, I almost said June 4th. That would have been way off. Today is, I think it's April 4th, if I'm getting it right. Today is April 4th, and I am just so excited to be here. We switched our days for our calls, Colleen, so people are still trying to adjust to Mondays instead of Wednesdays. And half of our team in America, for some reason, some of my coaches on the West Coast are on spring break right now. I don't know what the heck's going on. So anyhow, some people in Washington, some of my team. So I just want to start off with a few things real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and let Colleen just kick butt. She is absolutely awesome, and I just cannot wait to have you hear her speak. Let me mute. Okay. Let me get your information up real quick, and then we can get going. Okay, so as you all know, we are coming off a very strong weekend of Super Saturday. So Super Saturday, obviously, if you don't know what it is, you need to know what it is. Beachbody hosts these quarterly events all over the United States. Sometimes they're either on Saturdays or on Sundays. It's really, really important to get to a live event. I will tell you right now, it's where I met my success partner, Missy Reber, was at a live event. I meet so many new people at live events. It really gets your face out there. It makes you be brave. It makes you meet new friends, and it really allows you to see the type of people that we choose to surround ourselves with. And I remember my first Saturday was in like the second floor of a community center, and it was like 30 people. I don't even know. Well, that was my second one. My first one was at someone's house, and that was very interesting. I'll have to tell you about that sometime. It was like 5 people. I drove like 3 hours, and that was interesting. So the thing is in your area, in your state, there's typically a Star Diamond or some type of leader that's leading these Super Saturdays. And it doesn't necessarily, you don't have to necessarily go just to a Star Diamond Super Saturday, but it's an amazing experience, because what happens is as your Super Saturday gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you get the opportunity to get kind of recognizable people and people that really are the movers and the shakers in this business. So I know Colleen, for example, has been flown out to different Super Saturdays because she has an awesome demeanor in how she talks, and she is rocking the mindset and just really rocking this business. And so people want her at their Super Saturday. For example, we had Vito I don't know how to say his last name, Vito or something, Vito Lavada, okay, Vito, I'm just gonna call him Vito, literally rocked my world. Like, we hired a videographer to tape his speech. It was so good. He got a standing ovation, and people did not stop clapping for like 2 minutes straight. It literally basically blew everything. I mean, it was so good. Like, I looked at some of the coaches that were next to me, and I was like, this guy is absolutely incredible. And we got it taped, and it's the experience of being there. I say this all the time to new coaches. It's like if I bought a CD from Target. I'm excited about that, but if I actually go to the concert, it's a different experience. And so it's really important to experience these ideas with Super Saturday. So if you didn't go, it's your job as a business owner to make sure you check your back office and you at least look. A lot of times they'll be posted in the Super Saturdays are posted in your region, and they're also posted on YouTube, but they're also the slides, at least the main part that corporate comes out, is available in your back office. Okay, I don't know when it's available. I think it's available soon, coming up here. Okay, so that being said, I have a couple more announcements, and then we're going to get started. As you know, it's a new month. Wipe your slate clean. Okay, whether you got 20 points last month, 0 points, or 4. You have all the capabilities of being a successful entrepreneur. You just have to truly believe that in your heart, but I'm not going to tell you that it doesn't take work. Okay. I was talking to a couple coaches today, and it's so freeing when you realize that there's a lot of hustle in this, but the reward is tenfold when you start to get someone that says, you changed my life, or I am so excited about this. Oh my gosh, my mom joined me, and she's the one person I've wanted to help change, you know, or whatever. And so just put your head down and get to work. Colleen's going to talk a lot about the hustle part of it, and I'm going to leave that up to her to finish it, because you're going to be like on your edge of your seat, just like waiting to like burst through the computer. She is so amazing. And so just know that it's a new month. Whatever happened last month is in the past, and you start fresh today. You start fresh today. You do your daily activities, and you make it happen. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want it, it's going to happen. If you do the right activities, if you want it, you're going to stop making excuses. You're going to bust through your wall, and you're going to make it happen. And so it's really exciting each month to see new names on the Success Club list. I love that. And so this month, go out there and set some big goals, you guys, and use the sales. I believe that it's hammer and chisels on sale, but I also had a coach sign up today with 22-minute hardcore. It still was on sale. So I don't know, it was earlier in the morning. So, okay. I am going to tell you now, there are big things happening on this team. I have hired someone in our own downline, Jessica Height, and she has blown my socks off multiple times with her capabilities with computers and blogging, whatever. So I asked her to create something together. I told her what I wanted, and she did it exactly what I wanted. So we now have, are you ready? A team training website. And basically it is a website. I will give you all access to it and the team page. I will write up a post about it, but I just want you to understand what this means is that any given time you can send them to a website, put a password in that's password protected. They have access to all of our Like a Boss trainings, 21-day What to Post groups, all of our 5-day Push to Emerald groups, all the things that I've ever done that are push groups. Like I did a diamond training once, I did a volume training. I mean, it is a plethora. It's just, so we have all the information. Now it's just, now you have access to it and it's all in one spot. So now it's get to work. And that's what's really cool is that I have all the information that I have developed in 4 years at your fingertips. Who's excited? Woo! Okay, so you don't have to train yourself. You don't have to be worried about new coaches doing anything. And this is a whole nother video and post. I will tell you what I do. I've changed up my GSR process. I've changed up my way that I interact with new coaches, and they're blowing it out of the water. They're doing a great job. I've signed a couple new coaches in the last couple days that are already like crushing it, like simply crushing it. So it's really just about having a step-by-step system that they follow, a checkoff list, going here, going here. Now they have the trainings in one spot, and I'll explain to you if we're going to still run them in the team page and whatnot. But I'm really excited about that. So that will be rolled out this week. I will let you know. I'll do a short video on the team page. Okay, we are ready, Colleen. Here we go. I don't even remember exactly where I met Colleen. Obviously through something Beachbody. I just know that her personality is very infectious. She's a very contagiously smiley person. She is always positive. She is one of the nicest people I know. And I've told her from the very beginning that there's certain people that you meet and they're beautiful on the outside, but they're not so beautiful on the inside, okay? Colleen not only is beautiful on the outside, like gorgeously drop dead beautiful, she is just as beautiful on the inside. And that is what is so cool about her, is that she continuously puts herself out there and helps people. She is an absolute rock star. Like we chat often, and she's so nice. She just answers all my questions half the time. And we chat back and forth. But not only that, like she put her head down and get to work. She's going to share with you her story. You're gonna be mind blown. She's had a terrible, I shouldn't say terrible, but a really difficult year this last year. She's been through some really hard stuff. And if anyone has an excuse, she does. And she's going to share with you what's happening or what's happened to her. And she's just so inspiring to watch. And she never gives up. And she's like a person that I can always count on if I can go to her page and I know she's going to have, excuse my language, whatever, a shitty day or a crappy day. It doesn't matter. She's still going to get it done and she's still going to put herself out there. Okay, so she is a 7-star diamond coach. She's a 2000 elite coach, to 2015 elite coach. She's a Success Club 10 legend, which again just means she is continuously helping people each month. She is, okay, now she's number 112th in the network out of like, I don't even know, 400, 500,000, I don't even know where we are, 400,000 coaches, which put all the numbers aside, it just means she is continuously helping people, doing the 3 vital behaviors, and her team is growing. And that's what you do to be successful, okay? So without further ado, Colleen, you're up. Thank you so much for being on our call tonight. We're really excited.
Yeah. Hey, guys. So it is so freaking ironic that I'm on this call right now with you guys because I just got back from Super Saturday. And Kiana, that's actually where we met, Portland Super Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So for the last 2 years, I actually, with my own money, fly all over the U.S. and I speak at these events. So I take personal development, I take experience, I take getting out of my comfort zone and investing in myself very serious. I'm going to share with so many amazing things with you today in terms of where I've come from, what I've learned along the way. And I am so passionate about this topic that I have spoke on the topic of mastering your mindset over 100 times. So I'm actually still beyond 24 hours, no sleep. I just flew across country from Miami. I spoke at Christina Delgado and Becky and all those amazing girls from Miami at their Super Saturday. And wow, they have so much energy there. Like I slept until 11:30 the next morning after Super Saturday. So I'm really fired up about everything that's to come. But I always like to kick things off in terms of mastering your mindset and this topic. I like to share a little bit about my background first, because I know it's so easy to look at people and hear their story and hear them telling you to try this and do this. And you're probably saying, well, that's easy for Kiana or it's easy for Colleen. And I want to share with you where I've come from. So I originally grew up on the East Coast. I now live in Northern California in Lake Tahoe. So I'm 3,000 miles away from home. And by choice, I up and packed my things and decided to move out here. And I was a retail store manager for Verizon Wireless for about 6 years. So I was always the corporate ladder girl who wanted to get promoted and move up quickly. And I loved the idea of a salary and I felt safe and I was commissioned. And guys, I gave my all to these jobs. So I came into work one day and I had been working at this new store after moving to California for about a year and a half. And during that first year and a half of being here, I was so blessed. I don't know if you guys know Lake Tahoe, but it's seriously like the 8th wonder of the world. It's freaking amazing. You have to go Google it. So I was here loving this amazing California lifestyle, but yet I was going into a job that I started to hate every single day. So not only did I hate my job and it became stressful, it was so stressful that I wasn't eating, I was partying, I was racking up credit card debt because it was like I was trying to fill all these voids. And I ended up working for, I actually call her the devil. Every single day that I went into work, she would make my life hell every single day. I don't know if I'm allowed to say bad words in this call.
Yeah.
I kind of have fun.
Don't worry. You're fine.
Okay. I get in trouble sometimes.
You're not allowed.
So I get, especially when I talk about her, because still to this day I hate her. So I had stomach ulcers. I couldn't eat healthy. I was literally, you know how like when you're nervous or stressed, you feel it in your stomach? That was me every day for a year and a half. So I come into work one day and this horrible boss tells me, hey, I'm transferring you to this other store. So in the moment I'm celebrating because I'm like, thank God, get me away from this horrible person. But what I didn't know was she was transferring me to a store that was closing. So talk about, she already made my life like horrible. Sean at the time, my now husband, then boyfriend, he loved me, but I was so miserable that he left. He's like, dude, you gotta like figure your stuff out. So I lose my job. I lost my boyfriend. I'm 3,000 miles away from home. Pretty much, of course, a million other details, but I was kind of rock bottom, okay? And I had no backup plan. And I remember sitting in my car and I promised myself from that moment, because I felt so victimized, I felt like someone took my job away from me because I took that job seriously for the most part. I put my all into it. So I promised myself I would never give someone else the opportunity to be in control of my income, where I show up every day, how I feel about myself, any of those things, because that boss, even though I shouldn't have given her control, she did have control. So I lost this job and I was thinking to myself, I have this amazing resume. Right? Our parents are like, go to college, go to grad school, get this job, da 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 da. And I had all that, but I was the most miserable, broken person ever. So it's like, there's got to be a different way. And that is when, I'm sure you guys have heard Elizabeth Hartkey, the name. She's my upline. She was on the Super Saturday video before. She's amazing. She's been a summit speaker. She actually spoke with Vito last year at Summit, which is funny you say his name today. So she's just a powerhouse. And I saw her posting online. And honestly, it wasn't her income. It wasn't her physical transformation. It was just the Beachbody glow that she had going on. And she was spending time with her husband. And I was like, honestly, that's all I want. I want to be happy. I want to look healthy. And she looked confident and content. And here I was freaking out what the heck I was going to do with my life. So I started to think, like, hold up. I know Liz is really successful with this. She has the ability to work out. She has the ability to earn money. She has the ability to travel, work from home, and meet cool people. Like, what the heck? Why wasn't I doing this the last bajillion years of my life? So when I signed up with T25, I drank vanilla Shakeology, and I promised myself that if I could not work out for 25 minutes a day and 5 days a week, there is no way in hell I was going to change my life. Because if I can't do that, what else was I going to be able to do? So I promised myself that I would commit to it and go for it. But I also treated this business like a business. I was in love with the idea that I was in control. And so that's what I want you guys to know today. Just like Kiana said, today is a new day. Tomorrow morning is a new day. This is a brand new month. We're kind of already almost a quarter through the beginning of 2016, but let's just say it's a new year for you too. Because when we get off this call today, I want you to feel and know that you have the control. Because right now, as grown adults, most of us, we say all the reasons why we can't. And I have literally been able to take the obstacles and the challenges and make it the reason why I do something. And like I said, it's really ironic that I'm on this call today because I actually cried my whole way home today, driving home from the airport, because I didn't think I cared, but I did, but I do, that I'm not a summit speaker this year. Because I have given back to Team Beachbody so much this year. And I was like, I saw all 60 names and I was like, ow, like those are all my friends. And, you know, like we do all this stuff together. And so here I am, I have to eat my own medicine, right? I have to practice what I preach. And so I've learned how to respond rather than react to a scenario. So guys, when life gets hard and your business gets hard and you have the self-doubt and the challenges, I want you to know that all of those challenges are there for a reason. And it's the universe poking at you saying, hey, you told me that you wanted this really, really bad. I kind of want to see how bad do you really want it? How many punches, how many blows, how many challenges, how many scraped knees, how many sad things? And so was I sad for like an hour driving home? Absolutely. But I knew I had to speak on Kiana's call. And so I had to get it together. I hopped in the shower, put some makeup on. I did some personal development. I have these little cards from Tony Robbins. I just read personal development. And you could probably think it's hocus pocus. But just like working out, guys, once you press play and you get going, and 30 minutes later, what do you feel? Awesome. Pumped. You're so happy you did it. It's the same thing with your mindset and personal development. You can change the course and the outcome of something if you put in the work. And so as grown adults, our brains are just trained to freak out or start dwelling, or we allow, that's the key word, we allow ourselves to have those negative thoughts. So this is what I call being self-aware. So tomorrow morning, when you guys wake up, I want you to take note of the very first thing that pops into your mind. This is really important because if you're not being honest with yourself and doing self-reflection, you're just going to always be pointing the blame at your kids, at your family, at your job, at your husband, at your coaches, at your team, whatever it is. And until you take full responsibility and look inward, you're not going to be able to help a lot of people. They always say that you have to lead yourself first before you can lead others. So tomorrow morning, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Now, typically when the alarm goes off in the morning or when you wake up, it's like, oh my God, the kids woke up at 4 a.m. Oh, I don't want to get in the shower. It's freezing. Oh, I'm at Success Club Zero right now. Oh, I don't want to speak on the team call tonight. Oh, I don't want to do 22-minute hardcore today. And it's been 30 seconds we've been awake and we already told ourselves all the things that we don't want to do for the day. And so I have literally had to train my brain, which is like another muscle in your body, that you have to constantly put positive things into your mind. And if you feel like you can't do that, you're not practicing being grateful. This is usually when I go into a scenario like Kiana was saying, the last year has been crazy. And I know that the universe tests me because I'm capable of handling it now. But 2 years ago, before personal development and before becoming a coach, I was not capable of handling challenges. So my husband and I, in October 2014, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer. So he's really young. I'm kind of like a cougar. And so when we got this news, it was like, whoa, what do you mean? And so most people, when a life challenge comes in their way, what happens to their business? Kiana, I have to go focus on this. Kiana, I have to go do this. I can't do the business right now. It's the immediate human reaction. That's called a reaction, not a response. And what I have learned and what I taught myself is that I need to respond to the scenario. And so I started to think about it. And as mad as I wanted to be at cancer and as freaked out as I was practicing being grateful. We have health insurance. We have doctors to tell us what to do. I have a job where I can work from home. I have a challenge group that can bring me positivity. I have workouts that I can beat my workouts and be happy when I'm done that 30-minute workout. I have a meal plan that can help me stay healthy and on track. I have a team that will never let a day go by without checking in on me. So instead of turning away from the business when life gets hard, I'm encouraging you to be on the other side, and I want you to dive in. Because when you do that, what happens, guys? You're doing PD, awesome. I think you need that when you're struggling, right? When you are mad at something or upset, when you're working out, how do you feel? Awesome. Your team will bring you up. And what happens? Your business grows. You're sharing your story. You're being vulnerable. People are seeing you show up every single day, even in the difficult moments. And that is how you're going to influence others to change their life. So my saying, suck it up, buttercup, I guess I could say that, but that doesn't really cover all the bases. I like to honestly share my perspective on mindset. So I dove into my business even more. Yes, of course, I was taking care of my husband and things like that. So we had surgery and we thought it was gone. So fast forward to just 3 months ago, in December 2015, we had been doing our I still feel like I was like part of it, even though he was the patient. He was doing his scans, and we found out that the cancer had come back. And if you guys aren't familiar, testicular cancer comes back and it attacks the lungs. So that's what they had been checking, and it was attacking the lungs. So I was like, okay, we already overcame that obstacle. We thought we were in the clear. I was pushing for elite. December is the hardest month of the year when it's the holidays. And I find out that we have to pack up our things and move 4 hours in with his parents and do 9 weeks of chemo, 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. So in those moments, it's really hard. You're probably like, what do you mean you find the positive? What do you mean you practice good thinking? I was so grateful for coaching, and thank God I dove in the year before, because imagine if I shied away, I might not have this opportunity. I might not have the freedom to go with him. I might have had to get another job or something. So every single day that I was sitting there next to him, I was so grateful that I mastered my mindset and that I had a good perspective on what a business owner should do. So guys, if you're struggling ever, I always do this. Put yourself in Carl Deichler's shoes. When he wakes up in the morning, how much pressure do you feel is on his chest? He's being pulled in a million different directions, right? But he's the CEO. He's got to show up anyway. So if you want to be a prepared business owner, I call mastering your mindset kind of like an insurance. Because what's going to happen? What happens if tomorrow something crazy in life happens? Because let's be honest, life is freaking crazy, right? It's raw, it's real. Or what if something happens in your business and something crumbles? Are you going to crumble, or are you going to conquer it? So if you can have the ability to see every challenge as the universe poking at you saying, hey, you want this? Hey, you want this? You got to stand up tall. And again, a lot of people think of this like hocus pocus stuff, but everything I've learned is from all the personal development that I've done. And as a brand new coach, you know how Kiana was just telling you guys that you have team trainings and all this stuff. Like, we didn't have that when we started. We didn't have Zoom calls. YouTube was like just becoming popular in terms of coach videos and stuff like that. And so we had to kind of go out there and do all the falling on our face for the majority of our teams at this point. And so as a new coach, I'm like, okay, vital behaviors. By the way, I didn't know how to invite as a new coach. Now we know what inviting is. But I was like, oh, I post online. I talk to people about challenge groups. I get my workout in. I'm a proof the products work. Drink my shake. And I read personal development. And I felt in control when I was reading personal development because I was taking so much out of it. So I am like the PD freak because, guys, what is holding you back from success? Think about it. There's nothing in your way other than either fear or your mind, or you feel like maybe you can't do this, or maybe you think that the work you're putting in, you're not getting enough reward. That's all perspective. That is all personal development. So when I think in a nutshell what Team Beachbody coaching is, it's a personal growth journey. So I want to read this to you guys real quick. It's from Tony Robbins. So when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to make the decision that you will move forward. The only thing you truly need to be happy will surprise you. As Tony says, if you aren't growing, you are dying. Did you realize that the ultimate key to achieving true and lasting happiness is simply progress? Progress equals happiness. Because guys, if you felt like if you were moving forward and you were changing and you were achieving the goals, life and business, it doesn't just have to be Beachbody, I'm pretty sure you'd be stoked with that, right? In fact, progress is your happiness engine. If you are growing, flourishing, and giving, you are increasing your personal power and you will generate happiness. By consistently progressing in your personal, professional, emotional, and spiritual life towards your goals and dreams, you will be happy. Your challenge is not only achieving, but maintaining the momentum of progress. The only thing, guys, is honestly mindset. Anytime that someone comes to me, it's either lack of confidence to go after a goal or lack of momentum or something kind of hurt them a little bit. There's always going to be people poking at you, saying things. And so I'm going to ask you guys, like, how mentally strong are you? You're a business owner. It's you and you. That's it. You don't have like a CEO or a boss or a manager telling you what to do. You have to rally yourself, which is why I believe mindset is so important. And so this is another thing, if you guys are taking any notes or anything, I love. Why is a strong mind crucial, especially in this business? Like, why should you give two hoots at all? And it's because people without a strong mind are dependent on others for validation. So I love Amy Silverman. She's my style. She's blunt. She's straight. And guys, think about it. She doesn't need permission to get what she wants, right? She has one mode, and it's blinders on, vision, goal, and I'm going there. And I'm not letting any distractions get in my way and slow me down. So maybe you're not seeing success as fast as you want, or maybe you're not achieving the goals that you want. How long are you allowing yourself to think and dwell rather than just getting back up and trying something else and course correcting and keep going? That's what we mean by never give up. Not by doing the same exact thing that isn't getting you anywhere, but trying new things and moving forward. Progress. You don't need anyone's permission to go and do this. Maybe your spouse or something like that, but I hope that you're strong-willed and independent enough to go after something that you desire that's going to change your life. So people ask me all the time, what do I do when a negative thought creeps into my mind or when something's really difficult? Here's the part that's most difficult for people because your brain is already wired as a grown adult to just kind of go off and do its thing. We get tunnel vision. So you're going to have to rewire it a little bit. You have to catch yourself in the moment that you're allowing yourself to just self-sabotage and say all these negative things. I removed the words like, oh yeah, like I suck at that. Or yeah, that's not really my thing. Because all of those things start to pile up if you allow yourself to speak like that. When someone asks you, how are you today? What do you say? I'm good. I'm fine. Your brain starts to think, you're good. You're fine. Tell it, I'm fantastic. I'm awesome. I'm feeling great. I'm freaking jazzed up. However big you go in your mind is what your mind's going to believe. And you have the control of that. So you guys know energy, when you're around energetic people and it rubs off on you, you need to put that energy out there if you want that back, right? They always say the vibes you put out are the vibes that you get back. Another thing I like to talk about is empowering yourself. Because a lot of people, they say stuck and stagnant because they're not willing to do something outside their comfort zone. So you have two options. You can either dip your toes in the water if you want and start to get outside of your comfort zone, but let's be honest, it's just going to take you longer. Or you just jump off the cliff and jump in the water. Because the longer you wait and the more you hesitate, the more fear builds up. Just like jumping off the cliff. The longer you wait and look over the ledge, the worse it feels and the more the fear builds up. So I want you guys to kind of pick. Are you going to dip your toes in and have it take longer, or are you going to empower yourself by just diving headfirst in? When I stopped living that victim role and decided that I want to be the victor, I want to be in control of the result. I want to be in control of this. Not pointing fingers that I don't have time, my job doesn't allow me. Like, there's many people in this business that have done X, Y, Z, and they have the same scenarios as everyone else. So don't give yourself the exception. Be the victor in the situation. So when you understand that, like, your reasons and all your self-doubts are all a self-limitation, and as Tony Robbins says, it's the same bullshit story that you keep telling yourself over and over why you can't do something, I want you guys to make it the reason why you do. So this past winter, when I was going through, like, people were like, how are you doing it? And I was like, first of all, stop asking me how I'm doing it, because I feel good that I'm doing it, and just let me just do it, you know? And I said, what else am I gonna do? Am I gonna just sit here in the hospital with him, or go cry in the corner about something? Was I upset some days? I'm not saying it was easy, guys, but I didn't give myself a choice. It was non-negotiable that I was showing up every day. And because I applied myself in the ways that Team Beachbody allows me to, I was able to feel at least somewhat better with my scenario. I felt like I was still getting something done because I couldn't do anything about cancer. As a spouse dealing with cancer and all that, you feel useless sometimes. And so I had to put my effort in elsewhere. So this is why mastering your mindset is so important, is because fear is emotional. And your mindset and all those feelings of, I don't know if I can do it, you can't touch those feelings. You can't see those feelings. It's all made up here. There's two other things that I like to talk about in terms of mastering your mindset. And then I love questions. So please ask questions at the end, because I hate when people just stare at me and then I feel like a weirdo after this whole thing. So it doesn't have to be about mindset. It can be about anything. But have you guys ever looked at successful people and you're like, dude, like Lindsay Matway is about to be a 4-time superstar diamond. So that means she's hit 15 star almost 4 times. And to me, that's like the Olympian athlete of Beachbody, right? You're just like, that is incredible and it's unthinkable. Like, how the heck did you do it? And I can tell you right now that it's all about what you put out there. If you guys have not read the book, The Go-Giver, it's a 100-page story. You need to read it. To honestly understand what it takes before you're going to see reward in your life, you have to give, and you have to give, and you have to give before you're ever going to get. Tony Robbins also has taught me, and it was my theme for 2015, and it changed my life. Like, really weird, creepy, universal, like, things started to come into my life. Start everything with being grateful, and abundance will appear. So, for example, when we were going through cancer, when I was going through struggles in my business, I'll talk about those too later. I just always practice being grateful, and it really puts you in check. You know, like when you're laying in your nice Tempur-Pedic bed in the morning and you have your comforter on, you're playing with your iPhone 6s Plus and you're looking at your Apple Watch and you're like, oh, I don't want to make my Shakeology right now because it's kind of cold, or I don't feel like getting on Facebook where I can earn a 6-figure income. Like, guys, perspective. Like, start everything with being grateful and abundance will appear, and you will start to really see how your life is going to change. The secret to living is giving. And if you can teach your team that, golden. Okay, failure. Ooh, the lovely F word, failure. So a lot of people say, I'm afraid to try this because I'm afraid to fail. Or I decided to not become a coach because I'm afraid to fail. And that's my favorite thing in the world, because I get to bust that myth right away. And I'm very blunt, obviously. So when people join my team, I tell them, I said, 80% of your success will be due to mindset. 20% is mechanics. Is this job hard to do? But it's easy not to do as well. So imagine that, guys. 80% of your success depends on your mind. So when they say failure is my biggest fear, I was like, guess what? I have the best news ever for you. You cannot fail at this business. If I didn't hit Success Club for the last 34 months I've been a coach, does that make me a failure? Nope. Because guess what? On May 1st and June 1st and July 1st and August 1st, I can wake up and try to hit Success Club again and again and again. So the only time you fail is when you quit, and I add, or don't try. So the whole excuse of being afraid to fail, I want you guys to be on the other side and start trying to fail. You've all heard that you need to fail forward, right? But even like, what mistake can you make in this business? Like, oh, what, you gave someone the wrong challenge pack price? Okay. You did a webinar and you sounded horrible and you think you blew it. Okay, cool. You learned from it and you'll never do that again. I promise you that. So you will go back and you will practice again. If you're offered an opportunity to ever speak on a team call or step up in your team page or speak at a Super Saturday, the answer is always yes. Even if you want to say no, force yourself to say yes. Just do it. I'm sure you guys have read You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, and she says, no weenies. That is the rule. If you're joining into my community and my life and you want to see success, we can't have weenies. So failure is only a delay. And that's another thing that was huge for me. So for example, today when it hit me that I wasn't speaking at Summit, because speaking is a passion for me. It's not just like, oh, I want to be a Summit speaker, because I have literally been doing this for 2 years and I love it. So I kind of felt like a failure in the moment, because I'm looking at the people and I was like, I know I can do this. Why didn't I get selected? Why this and that? For whatever reason, there's a reason. And so I had to flip my mindset and say, and my husband also sent me the text message because I told him how upset I was. And he said, there's something bigger and better down the road for you. You have to be able to swallow that pill and accept it. So I got upset for a minute. Does that make me a failure? No, it's just a delay. So maybe next year at Summit, I'll be able to speak on stage. If you miss Elite this year, if you missed it last year, if you missed Premier or whatever your goals are, guys, does it make you a failure? It's only a delay. But you have to be here for the long run. You have to be committed to this. You have to have no expectations. And if you focus on efforts rather than results, imagine if you're like, oh, but I put in 6 months and I got nothing. Just put your head down, put in 10 times the effort, and focus on your efforts. Are the results eventually going to show up? Absolutely. You might have to course correct a little bit, of course. You don't want to, put your head down too much and forget what you're doing. You might need to be like, Kiana, like, what can I tweak here and there? Be coachable, take advice. But you're never a failure. Okay, and then PD, wrapping things up. Obviously, I'm obsessed with PD, and so I always tell people that your personal development is the most important thing. And so a lot of people will tell me that I'll invest in my business, which is basically you. I'll invest in Tony Robbins when I make $300 a week, or when I make $1,000 a week, or whatever their goal may be. But the problem is your business will never get there until you do, because you are your business. And so did I have money in the beginning to be like driving 12 hours to Portland to go speak at Super Saturday, or fly to Boston to speak at Super Saturday? Heck, I didn't really have the $1,000 this weekend to go to Miami, to be honest with you. But for me, it was an experience and I grew from it. And every single time that I invest in myself, it's another tool that I'm adding to my tool belt. So I want you guys to think of every webinar, every experience, every time you say yes to an opportunity, you're adding a tool to your tool belt. So when life gets hard, you whip out that tool and you're like, got this, no problem. Rather than like, oh my God, Kiana, what do I do? I have no idea what to do. Oh my God, everyone hates me. I'm going to quit. I'm going to fail, because that is not a strong-minded person, okay? You need to be able to know that you're okay. I don't know if you guys saw like this viral video I made last week. It has like 15,000 views now, but it was about understanding that this business rewards us so much because of the uncertainty. So you basically have to keep going and going and going. And then all of a sudden you're like, what am I doing wrong? Right? We all want to know, why aren't we going forward or whatnot? And within reason, of course, as long as you are doing the things that you see every other successful person working towards and doing, if you keep going, you will see success. But we cannot give you the answer of, what am I doing wrong? So a lot of people can't handle the uncertainty of this business. So that's why a lot of people give up too soon. And so because I've stuck around for almost 3 years and I never have backed down, guys, I'm being honest, 364 days a year, and maybe I give myself like one complete full day. Do I disconnect and go on vacation? Absolutely. But I'm always working on me and touching my business in some way. Because I don't clock into a job, right? I don't have a time card. So for me to show up every day, I'm doing something. It's my 40 hours a week as if I was a regular job. Do I actually work 40 hours a week? Not always, but you guys know what I'm saying. So some of the books that I recommend are No Excuses by Brian Tracy. If you need a kick in the you know what, and you need to understand that it's your responsibility to rank advance, it's your responsibility to hit Success Club, it's your responsibility to build a challenge group, all those things, that was a huge book for me. Another book is Life's Golden Ticket by Brendan Burchard. I love storybooks because we can all relate to a story. We can put ourselves in the person's shoes, and we can really see their perspective, because in one way or another, we're all the same. We all have the same emotions and fears and experiences and things like that. So I always like the stories. And then lastly, Entrepreneur on Fire is a podcast that I love. And I love it so much because he brings on entrepreneurs not only to talk about their success, but really honestly to talk about their biggest aha moments and their biggest failures. And I like that because I realized that I just wasn't failing hard enough. So here I would hear these entrepreneurs who lost their business that they invested in, or like something drastic happened in their life that they were never expecting. And that was a big failure for them, but they got back up and they kept going and they kept trying and they kept trying. And then like in Beachbody coaching, we have people that are afraid to share their story, or afraid to share a photo, or afraid to do X, Y, Z. And then when I look at other successful people and what their failures are and their efforts, I'm just like, it's a completely different spectrum. So it really motivated me to push the envelope. I thrive off of adrenaline and things like that. So to be honest, guys, if you're looking for that feeling of where you wake up every day and you want to do awesome shit, like if you just want to push and propel, and if you wonder where people get motivation from and you want to feel unstoppable, it's not anything physical really that you're going to be able to have control over to change that. It's your mindset. And it starts with every single day using the muscle, just like you have to press play in a workout. You have to put your shoes on. You have to do this. You have to rewire your brain and build up that muscle. So that's my jam.
Is that all? Jeez.
I did the shorter version for you guys today too.
My gosh. Colleen, I was like vigorously taking notes with my, on my phone. I couldn't keep up. It was like unfreaking believable. Oh man, you gave me the chills like 3 times. So can I be vulnerable with you?
Yeah.
So I had a moment. I had a moment about, earlier today, crying with you for the same exact reason.
Yep.
But I also, like you said, was really, I really needed to hear this because you're like, failure is not the fact. I didn't fail because I wasn't on stage, but so if y'all, it's my fault because I did not make it vocal. I was not vocal about it. I never put it out into the universe. I really did not share it with everyone, but I told my husband every night, I sure hope I'm on stage at Summit. I sure hope I'm on stage at Summit. And then I realized that I just did not verbalize, even my corporate person was shocked when I was like, I have a question. Was I even considered for this? And he was like, he just was like, I was like, I came out fiercely and was like, these are the reasons why, these are the reasons why I want to do. And he's like, wow, where was this, Kiana, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that, I got my panties in a twist. I was like, woe is me. I'm at the point in my business where I'm like, I used to be a teacher. I love to talk. I love to share. I love to be passionate about things, to inspire people. It would have been my dream to be on stage, but just because I want to be on stage and be on stage, no, because the feeling that I get to help other people wake up and be alive again, Exactly. And so to you, maybe we will be on stage together next year.
Yeah, right? It's just I think that, and I share that with you guys because I think people will look at other successful people, whether you're a 1-star, a diamond, or whatever, 15-star, like people think that we don't have struggles. I lost 4 diamonds last year, guys. Like 4 of my best coaches were like, coaching ain't for me, even though they were making money, hitting their goals. That's why not everyone does it, because it's not for everyone. And I had to rebuild 4 diamonds to make sure that I hit my 5-star. I went backwards in my downline, guys. Like I went backwards in income. If I was to stop there, I don't know where I would be. You always have to be getting back up. And so Kiana and I are crushed because like we give our blood, sweat, and tears to this business. So when we feel like the victim, but I want you to know that if you feel like the victim, snap into that and be like, I'm the victor. I will overcome this. I will share this story. I will be vulnerable and I will come out on top. And you have to find a way to do that for yourself, because who's going to make it better? Yeah, my husband gave me a hug. My team, wanted to give me a hug, but you got to be able to do it for yourself. So.
See, I didn't even tell my team that was a goal of mine, and it's because I was afraid, honestly, that it wasn't going to happen, so I didn't put myself out there, and then I'm just being honest and vulnerable. But then I realized that my husband was like, well, maybe you're not, there's a reason that this didn't happen. He's really positive, but he's like, maybe you're not ready this year. Maybe you needed to have this in order to fuel the fire for next year, so you're that much better on stage to fuel the fire. Because I just it's not, you guys, this isn't just you're talking on stage. This is representing the whole entire company. And so it wasn't something that I would, wasn't my place right now. But I had to really master my mindset this morning. Let me tell you, Colleen, because when I saw the pictures, it was a weird feeling because just like you, multiple really good friends were on the list, and I was like, yes, how awesome, how cool. My personally sponsored coach is on the list. Amazing. A girl from our team's on the list, and my success partner's on the list, Missy's talking. And I just was like, it was such a amazing feeling, but then at the same time, kind of like, hey, wait a second. I need to be up there. I want to be up there. But it was a good, like you said, I got over it, and I realized that it's fine. I faced my fear. It was a very emotional response to the fact that I didn't want to put it out there and tell my team, because what happens if I say it and it doesn't happen? Now I'm going to learn. I'm telling you now, team, I want to be on Summit next year. I want to be on stage, and I will be on the National Wake Up Call. Okay, there you go. Okay, anyhow. So I love that. What else were you going to say? Something that really, you said a lot of things. Oh my goodness. That were awesome. But what was the thing? Oh, no weenies allowed. I think that needs to be your tagline. Weenies allowed.
Some people don't like that one, but
I like it. That's awesome.
I get the messages all the time, I have a crisis. And to me, a crisis is my leg is falling off and I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk again. Or after this winter, I'm I wasn't even the cancer patient, and just having to go in there every day, and it was just hell and back. So right. I was that to me is hard. Not sharing your story or not any other stuff. So.
Not selling a challenge pack.
Yeah.
Cancer takes the front role sometimes, obviously. No, I think that it's important to have the tough love that, we need to hear that. And I think it's important that you can give it, and just showing what you've been able to go through. And just like you said, every one of us need to remember that no matter what you're going through your head, probably someone in Team Beachbody has been there before, and they've either decided to work with it and create part of their story around it and just push themselves through it and are further become of it, or they seriously took 5 steps back. Mine is, my story is obviously different than Colleen's, but last year I woke up, or a year ago, in January, I woke up as a 1-star diamond. I was going to have a baby a week later, and I was like, maybe I should just quit. I've been here for 18 months. Maybe I should just take a step back. No one cares. People would understand, right, Colleen? People will understand. Yep. I'm having a baby. I get, whatever. And I was like, hell no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show myself that during the hardest time of my life, I'm going to build my business. So that's the year our team went from 1-star to 6-star, and became an elite team. But that was a difficult time in my life. That was the time where I could have said, and there's lots of times where I'm sure you've had all those situations in your life where it gives me the goosebumps to think, what if I would have let my mindset trap me and not move forward? You know what I mean? Okay, any questions, you guys? She says she likes questions. Don't let us down. Get a question. Let's go. I'm unmuting you.
Colleen, hi. It's so nice to meet you.
Hi.
Thanks so much. My name is Christina. I just had 2 things real quick. You said, I think it was a Tony Robbins quote that you said, people without a strong mindset require validation from others. Was that kind of around what the quote was?
Yeah, I don't actually know who said that,
Okay.
but why is a strong mind crucial? People without a strong mind are dependent on others for validation.
Dependent. That's all. I love that quote, man. That was like, whoa.
Yeah. And I always love, like, people get different things out of my talks, and like some people love that one or some people love the other one, but yeah, that one was huge for me too.
Yeah. So my question is, did you have like one big failure to you that just made you go like, you know, it was like the break all that made you have that moment where you were like, yes, my mindset, like this is happening, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Not so much like an aha moment, but was it just like a big failure that really made you have to go, okay, like my head, I've got to get this going on?
So from the very beginning, I always knew that like my attitude, because I had such a crap attitude when I started, that it was like, I was starting to notice it. I was like, wow, I really am a Debbie Downer. So from the beginning, my mindset definitely improved, but I would have to say that there were 2 things in my business that were like a pretty big wake-up call. Not so much in the mindset department that made me dive into mindset, because again, I already knew that I had to check myself on that. But I knew that, so my thing is action, guys. Like, yeah, you can master your mindset, but like if you're just sitting there and like thinking happy thoughts, but not putting things into action, business building action activities, like nothing's going to change. So for me, I went from 1-star to Emerald, and I was a coach for a year and a half. And I was like, I want to grow so bad. I feel like I'm doing everything I can, but I really wasn't doing action business building activities. So when I lost my rank, that was really hard for me. The other day, the video that I made, it was talking about how I was stuck at the same income in the same rank for 13 months. Most people can't stand that for like 6 months. And I was stuck, and this was like, I was a 5-star diamond, and I went down to 3, 4, was going backwards. And I started to really have a panic attack, because most people would be like, oh, well, it's not working. And I had to stay strong for 13 freaking months. And so for me, I read the 10X rule. That for me changed everything for me and my team. It gave me the opportunity to be real with my team in terms of what we need to do to be a successful team. So kind of things that like aha moments, I was like, all right, like I literally felt like I was trying everything I could. I always turn to personal development. Someone had told me about this 10X rule. And while my husband was going through chemo, my grandmother passed away. I had to fly 3,000 miles across country. It was New Year's Day. It was just terrible. And I was looking for like a sign from the universe that was just going to come save me, like, please. And I was in the airport, and there was the 10X rule on the airport book stand. And it just jumped out at me. And I was like, all right, I've heard about this book. I read it. And that's the thing I love about PD, guys, is I didn't have control over anything. And I was like, I need something to hang on to. I'm hanging on by dear life right now, for dear life. And so I dove into that book, and he gave me an action plan to move forward. So that is like probably more recently the most memorable aha moment of like, wow, I do have control. It's actually what I just talked about at Super Saturday, is that this business showed me that with a plan, by showing up every day and doing the things that we should, diving into PD, like I can gain control and take action. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but that's the first thing that came.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's next?
I have a question.
I was gonna say, don't make me start calling you out.
Yeah. This is coming at a really good time, and it's kind of neat to watch how PD does shape your life, because I right now am laid up with a potential torn ACL from skiing. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I can't work out. So I very easily could have let that kind of get me down, but I'm off work, so I'm able to pour myself into some trainings. But you said the secret to living is giving, and I read the Go Giver, and it's fantastic. But I'm kind of working with my team and trying to get them to get Success Club points. So I'm just wondering do you work with your team, rewarding them for getting Success Club points? And also kind of a 2-point question. Do you do team calls on mindset if they're feeling like the questions that they're asking can probably be solved through mindset? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Let me answer the second one first. So the mindset question. I build my entire team page and culture and everything I give to them as mindset. So basically I'm like, look, I want to help you all be successful, but I'm not there with you guys all the time. So I want to help them gut check themselves, reality check, have that strong mindset, let them know. Tony Robbins might have said this one too. People think that having a problem is a problem, but the problem is thinking that you have a problem because of your problems. Does that make sense? Do you guys follow that? People freak out when they have a problem rather than being like, oh, I've got a problem. What do I do? And so I teach a team that like, just because a coach quit or just because you're not really sure what to do right now, be okay with that uncertainty and keep pushing. That's what getting out of your comfort zone, like that uncertainty, I think is so healthy for us because you'll get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So I built my whole team page on mindset. I don't do team calls necessarily on mindset too often because they kind of know and they hear me all the time. I make a lot of videos in my team page, and I think Kiana's great about that too in her personal page. I'm sure she does stuff in the team page. But I'm completely vulnerably honest with them because I want them to know this ain't easy. I'm not trying to paint rainbows and butterflies for anyone because then when it gets hard, they're like, oh shit, what happened? And then to answer your first question. So I want you to kind of think of giving in a different way. I want you to give this coaching opportunity to people. I want you to think about every single day when you're sitting on the couch, when you're healing yourself, show people what this opportunity in the moment right now is doing for you. What does it change for you? What are you focusing on? And how can you give that to someone else? Sometimes we get so wrapped up in helping our coaches hit Success Club that we forget about sharing this with more people. Because if I'm begging people to hit Success Club, this job sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, like I don't want to do that. So I actually have a coach on my team. Maybe you should follow her. Her name's Janelle Sammartino. She's been injured for almost a year and hasn't been able to work out. She hits Success Club every month. She's recruiting because she's thinking about, because we had to come up with a plan, like she can't work out. And so she lost almost 80 pounds. So she was on this great fitness journey. And she's a food lover. So she's like, oh my God, I have to be careful because I'm not working out. So I tried to get her in the zone of try to remember how you can share a vision, a message every day. You want to educate, inspire, and entertain your audience. Because when you do that, you make people happy. You create influence and they trust you. So not trying to like say don't help your team hit Success Club, but if you're injured sitting on the couch and you're wanting to be a go-giver, that's like the first thing that popped into my mind.
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I can't answer your question about Success Club though. What did you say? Do I focus on Success Club with them?
Yeah, like I'm just thinking about when I'm thinking about the leadership ladder, actually looking at the rung that I'm on and kind of where I need to go with that. And a lot of the times it's having my personally sponsored coaches at Success Club. So when I'm thinking about educating them about the leadership ladder, well, part of that is my rung and where I am, some of my coaches need to have Success Club points. So I'm just trying to think of the best way to kind of have incentives for that.
So everything I do basically in terms of like the foundation I build is around Success Club. So when a new coach joins, I'm getting them to share and craft their story so that they can help people with a challenge pack or a challenge group. That's what a new coach primarily does. They're not like, signing up a bajillion coaches at first. So again, that's like about Success Club. I make sure that they know about Success Starters. So I build a strong culture around Success Club. I know everyone does leaderboards. That's nothing special. But I do that. With my personally sponsored coaches, if you want to help your coaches hit Success Club, this is what I've learned. You literally have to break it down for them because they know they have to sell a challenge pack to get 2 points to hit Success Club. But what I found is that my team does not know where to even begin to try and get 2 points. So I'm teaching them that it's your liking and commenting on other people. It's messaging someone saying, hey, Kiana, happy birthday. Hey, I just saw that your baby girl just turned 4. She's so cute. Oh, how's your summer been? Like teaching my team to be, that's kind of being a go-giver, giving a compliment, connecting with people, not always necessarily like, hey, I have a fitness challenge group starting on Friday. Do you want to join? Because that can really burn bridges sometimes. I'm teaching people how to make other people feel good, feel their happy vibes, so that when we do invite and we are going for Success Club, it's easy. And so I have my coaches, and this is kind of a lot of hand-holding that I probably shouldn't be doing, but I work this business like crazy. I had them start screenshotting me their conversations. Kiana, let me send you this team call I did last week. I spent 5 hours building this presentation for my team. It was like stupid, so you won't have to recreate anything. Just give it to your team. I taught my team what I do in my conversations behind the scenes. And I learned that when my coaches were screenshotting me their combos, I was like, oh my God, do not say that to anyone ever again. Yeah. So I literally mean break it down with your people. Not because like they're slow or anything, just because we're all learning like what other people want. And
Julie's cracking up over there. Like, oh my gosh. No, Colleen and I do that a lot with my coaches. If they're like, I'm having all the conversations, I'm doing all the vital behaviors, I'm like, okay, take a step back, slowly roll. Send me some of your conversations. What's the last 3 conversations you sent to talk about a challenge group or to talk about and it's like, hey, how are your kids? Hey, by the way, I'm going to start a group. You'd be good for me because, your kids are driving you nuts. So you want to hang out with me? Like, it was like, whoa, hello. It was so like discombobulated, you know what I mean? But it was, it's so important to look at people's messages, and I think that's an awesome reminder. Or just you can give them a tip, even if it's just throw in a different word or say a different sentence or end it with a question or go back to their why or, okay, have you asked them this before? It's always good to talk to them,
That's how I help my team with Success Club.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on, but someone's like taking a shower or doing something. Just kidding. It's like out of control. All right, I think we are going to let you go, Colleen, because I've taken a lot of your time. But I just want to tell you, we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, you guys. Re-listen to this call. You guys should write. You guys should have wrote notes. You should have wrote Post-its. I don't even know what you're going to do because holy smokes, if you didn't believe in yourself before this call, or if you didn't start thinking that, wait a second, maybe it's me that's holding myself back. Maybe it's my own mindset. It's not the person who I think, it's because of the person that you think that you're not. When in reality, that person you have inside you just have to change the way that you believe about yourself. And I really think that it's something that is so powerful. And when you put in hundreds of hours, Colleen, you can see the different person that you are. And I was telling my one of my newer coaches, she was having a hard time and she was saying that she was struggling. And I was like, yes, but what would have happened 2 months ago before you're starting personal development? What would you have been doing? And she's like, you're right. I would have been really horrible on myself, even worse. She was having a hard time, but she was coping a little healthier. So it's really, we don't change overnight, but we start to see little things about what Beachbody coaching, I always tell my coaches, have done for me most is that has allowed me to have more positive, healthier coping skills, that I can react differently. I can change my mindset differently. I don't get so discouraged. I don't get so upset. These things, it's not that all of a sudden your life is perfect as a Beachbody coach. We're still going through crap. We're still going through hard times. It's that we're coping in a different thing. And you're coping, I'm able to cope because of my personal development. So we so appreciate you. I really, really, really am going to, hi Sissy. I love the fact, you want to come say hi? I love that you talk about mindset. Hi. Here she is. Oh my gosh. You say hi?
Hi.
Say hi. Say good job, Colleen.
Okay, Colleen.
Oh, thank you.
Say,
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh, welcome. Okay. Okay, well say have a good night.
Have a night.
See ya. Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much, you guys. Recording will be up on the team page. Colleen, I'll shoot you the recording just if you want to keep it or share it with someone. I'm sure your team's we've heard this, but every single time I've heard you speak it, you add something different. So you're different every time, Thank you. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking time, especially after you took that long flight and you're like, oh yeah, that call's tonight. So I really appreciate it.
I'm glad you reminded me.
Yeah, and thank you. And you don't even you don't look like a hot mess at all. You don't look like you're showered, you're ready to go, good to go. And you guys, thanks so much for being on the call. You could be doing anything else on a Monday night, but you took the time to build your business. We appreciate that. And I will post it in the team page. Okay, guys? Bye-bye.